Okay, welcome everyone to the small print of the law of attraction. I'm Michael. I'm here with Maha and some beautiful people. How is everyone doing today? If you wouldn't mind checking in with a keyword and maybe your favorite color. Maha, you want to start?
I feel delightfully incompetent, and my favorite color changes every day. So today is earth tones.
Thank you, Maha. How about you, Daniel?
Checking in with disciplined, and my color is purple.
Susie said she's going to be traveling today. She's checking in with purple and sunny. Amanda, what about you?
I feel inspired with a flavor of like urgency and time scarcity today. And my color today is like pastel orange.
I'm checking in with playful and purple and grateful. And that's a great connection as we transition from the code for enough, which is what we looked at over the past 3 sessions. The idea that there is a way to understand myself as a harmony of instruments, and that sense of enough code that we introduced pairs with what we're looking at today, the code for not enough. So Maha, you want to take us away?
Yeah. It's the connection to elements that is so affirming for me, because that is something that I cannot deny. And my ego is so geared to being special. And when it's not special, it's not enough. When it's not enough, it goes back to being special. That having something that is affirming, that is trustworthy, such as fire is red, earth is round, air is azure, wood is green, and deduct from it the archetype and the instrument used by the archetype, and ultimately what moves that archetype, like the desire for aloneness of greed, ingenuity. Pretty much when that's fulfilled, there is no more greed, or the greed has become so candid, so transparent, that it does not create negative karma or difficult results. So that's what that fortifies me, that strengthens me to know that out of the 3 main cosmologies could be derived a system that was announced in the absolute first word of the Hebrew Torah, which has 2 meanings. One is creating matter from matter, which is a very linear perspective, a very time-bound perspective. The other is to create from the field, from energy. And having those 2 meanings that happen to be the subject of very advanced theories and of meditation and mind control and leadership and success and healing and subtle energy. When this is and was the first word of the Hebrew Torah, which was never read, is pretty freaking amazing. So that would be my synthesis of this first part. And now, out of the light of element and the solid code, we're going to move into its opposite, the liquid code. But before we do so, welcome, Sarah. Do you have a keyword for today?
Thank you. Discombobulation.
Okay. We welcome you, discombobulation. Beauty. So the first part is we're going to take one page out of the energy of desire and how we create our reality to give a foundation and an orientation on the work that we're going to do today together. So who wants to volunteer for that?
I can go.
Amanda, you are the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, Michael, would you please pick a number when Amanda is ready for you to do so?
Say when, Amanda. When you're ready for me to generate.
I know. I'm just waiting. Okay, when?
8.
Okay. Okay, page 8. So, Amanda, it's all yours.
Okay. Resisting the Bible. I can calculate the motion of heavenly bodies, but not the madness of people. Isaac Newton. I am insane when I make myself feel guilty from believing that I made an unforgivable error. Once again, I allowed myself to make choices that devolve me and ignored that I am here to acquire divine power. I wouldn't make these unsound choices if I knew that it is my nature to be love and if I weren't dreaming of separation. In my understanding, time is money. There are two gods I serve. I am yet to feel another plane of existence, a promised land where my word becomes so transparent it is unsaleable. The Bible is...
Let's stop here a moment. What, do you have a question on what you read?
I guess more reflection would be, I guess, hearing when my word becomes so transparent it's unsaleable would be, I say what I mean and I mean what I say. And until then, we get caught potentially in these, I guess, guilt trips with ourselves because we say we want something, but we're not creating that. So that's the paradox.
Perfect. That's exactly right. Yes. So
Okay.
to no longer be for sale is actually how to come into our authentic self.
To no longer be for sale.
Yeah. To no longer be needy or needing something.
Like if
That-
only this happens, then I'll finally be happy. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Right on.
That's so true. That's okay. Do you keep going?
Please.
The Bible is structured to have a happy ending. There's a promised land, a heaven on earth. It is written at once, forward and backward, for me to transcend time, space, and mind and get out of scarcity. The Bible may just be the red pill, the most multifaceted and influential text yet to be explored, as if it were an extraterrestrial transmission to make God, mystery, and her power known. It is hyperlinked into itself, just as the internet is, using an ancient alphabet that came back from the future, encrypting infinite pathways for me to surf the light and know my evil ways so deeply that I'd be surprisingly changed for good.
Yeah, anything touches you there.
No. I mean, it's touching, but I just don't have any reflections. Okay. This interpretation of Genesis chapter 4 unfolds in more detail on the next page. 1, I resist surrendering and or giving it all. 2, I can't get what I want. 3, I become possessed. 4, I want to make you pay for it. 5, I develop a guilty conscience, and with it, a need for protection. And 6, I repeat the pattern.
So let's have a look at the next page. So now the 6 steps that you read are reorganized right here under the title of glamour. So step 1, I resist it all. Step 2, I believe I can't. Step 3, I become possessed. 4, I make you pay. 5, I need protection. And 1, I go into auto repeat. So this is a fractal. We're going to start studying the dream code in opposition to the love code. So and here, if you would rediscover this for us.
Science and religion were together at first. There was no difference between the quest for divine and the quest for knowledge about the universe. But eventually they split. Religion got the unseen and science the seen. And that is how materialism was born. What the bleep do we know? Okay.
So where, if you're willing to play, and of course you can always pass, but where are you aware of something that a belief in your powerlessness? I believe I can't finish the sentence.
I believe that I can't. I have 2 ones I'm working with right now. Stop judging my friends. And the second one is I believe I can't control my portion sizes when I eat.
Okay.
We can pick just one, too.
So which one would you like to pick?
Let's do food because it's, bigger.
Okay. So I can't control my portion sizes. If accepting that this progression is real, then the way you would control portion sizes is in handling the resistance to give it up. So first of all, does that make sense, what I just said?
What do you mean by give it all? Would that be surrender to being bigger than just a body?
Well, I know you're an artist. Of course, I know you're an artist. As an artist, you know what give it all means. Like when you paint, and when you finish a painting, you absolutely know that you gave your complete best to that piece, do you not?
I know that feeling. I don't always feel that feeling.
But
yeah.
sometimes you feel it.
Sometimes. kind of a
Okay.
perfectionist, but yes, I know what you're, that's complete surrender and like complete devotion.
Exactly. So you see, as an artist, you receive the gift to know what complete surrender is. Not everybody knows that. Okay. So
Mhm.
you have a taste of what that means, which you can apply to everything, to the
Mhm.
way you exercise, to the way you clean your home, and certainly to the way that you eat.
Yeah. And this
Okay.
might be a question for another time, but where do you find the difference between like giving it all in devotion and perfectionism? They're totally different. Like they fall
That's
into,
the
I try
way.
to give it all and then I just become like punishing and perfectionistic. But
Yeah.
maybe that's, yeah.
So take the trying out, and you will see that the perfectionism goes out too. You can't try to give it all. You either do, and you know, Yoda said that. You either do or you don't.
Mhm.
So not giving it all is when I become a perfectionist. That's also when I become judgmental of me and my friends.
Mhm.
Makes sense?
Right. It
Okay.
does, yeah.
Okay. So let's move on to today experience. Unless anyone has a question on this page. Okay, I will imagine that you don't. Okay. So the equation to not enough. Danielle, would you like to take us through to
Yes.
this?
Sure.
Thanks.
The equation to not enough. The same unifying equation is now applied to understand the basic energies that I use to ignorantly destroy instead of deliberately create. From this foundation, I can deduce the instruments of ignorance utilized by the universal archetype of the unconscious. I can also ascertain the vibrational form of their resistance. I now have a most potent tool to inquire on why I am not successful in manifesting my heart's desire.
Okay. So would you speak that again in your own words?
That there is a pattern that exists in nature that I'm addicted to, that I use to stay in desire and suffering and lack and not having.
Yeah.
So that same pattern can be utilized for the polar opposite if I just show up and look at how I'm resisting what is.
Yep. Exactly. Right. Thank you, Danielle. And just a note here. Notice that we've entered the black area of the equation to not enough. So we'll think in terms of archetype soon enough. I simply wanted to point that out, okay?